Friday morning. Thank God it's Friday. It is the 20th day in the month of June 2025, and I think we have 10 days left, to wrap up things for this month of June, right? I mean, for a moment, I was about to start reciting 30 days of September, April, June, and November, and then, but no, that's like an old nursery rhyme, if you ask me. But I trust that you all slept and woke up well this beautiful Friday morning. I feel like I've been away from the Eagles Morning Rise show for a minute, and it feels really good to be back this Friday morning. Well, on my way to the office this morning, the weather was a bit tricky. At some point in time, I just had to intensify my prayers, like, God, I don't want it to start raining. I mean, let me get to the office first. I don't care about Vicky Vic. He can eventually hit the road and then it starts, raining. That's its luck. After all, he's a man. No pun intended. But it really feels good to be in the studios this morning, knowing fully well that I would be interacting with family members today from this hour up until 12 noon, when I will be handing over to my colleagues that will be on the Sunny Side show today, talking about Cassandra and Uduak Daniel. By the way, my name is Omo Ife Peace Osemere, and we started off with the news already at 6:45. It was actually 6:47 a.m. this morning, or 6:48-ish. Apologies anyways. And of course, this hour we're going to be looking at 10 things that you ought to know for today, alongside the blazing headlines making the rounds across Nigerian newspapers this morning. You also get to call in to share your 2 cents like you always do at 8 o'clock. And just because we've got something for everyone, Vicky Vic will be right here to bring you up to speed with the latest happenings in the world of sport, right? And of course, at 9 a.m. I would come back to talk politics and current affairs, but today not necessarily politics, not really security, but we're looking at the economy and how best we can rein in inflation in Nigeria. We understand that 36 states, they've actually launched some sort of joint action, right, to reduce the inflation rate in the country. And according to them, they plan on eliminating illegal checkpoints, in a bid to enhance the free flow of goods across the states or the federation, as part of efforts to address food security issues across the country. We would like to see how realistic this plan or this move would be, and is it going to bring about, short-term relief or long-term relief for Nigerians. So that's what the focus is going to be all about at the 9 o'clock hour this morning. And of course, at 10 a.m. it'll be time for the general open banter, but it is my tradition not to let you in on what the focus will be at 10 a.m. so just stay on the dial, right? I just hope that I'll be able to keep you on the edges of your seat, just to stay up until that hour, because it promises to be interesting, the conversation that we have in mind to look at the 10 o'clock hour. And of course, at 11 o'clock, we get to look at the city of Abuja to know what's going on and what's not going on, right? It's important for you to be up to speed with the latest happenings within and around your environment, your city. That is the nation's capital, Abuja. All of these will be accompanied with the very best of music, because it's Friday, it's weekend, and at this juncture, I must say a happy weekend to you all. All right, let me quickly greet you in your local dialects. Now, we're going to select just a few of them. Please, no hard feelings, but it's because of time. All right, so the Hausas will say Inakwana, and the Yorubas will say Ekaro, the Igbos will say Otutuoma, and of course the Igalas would say Olodudu, the Bibios and the Efiks will say Amesiere, and the Isoko tribe in Delta State, Nigeria would say right, all the way to Benue State now, right? The Thieves will say Ndeve, and the Untonkon tribe right there, still in Benue State, will say Ite. Well, all right. Our host community, the Baggies, would say Agife, and of course, the average man on the street would fondly say, Ona, good morning, right? Welcome on board. This is just the early morning booster that you need to kickstart your day. At this point in time, I'd like to encourage you to join the conversation live on YouTube and Facebook, where we are streaming at the moment at Eagles FM Abuja. Yes, on Facebook, on Facebook and YouTube. I was about to add Instagram to it, but on Facebook and YouTube at Eagles FM Abuja. You can also leave a comment. I would be very, very glad to acknowledge your thoughts on here. That way, you also get to take a look at our state-of-the-art studios and also put a face to the voice behind the MIC this morning. That being said, dear listener, let us quickly look at 10 things that you need to know for today. But before I do that, today is actually such a remarkable day. It is the World Refugee Day. That is the 20th of June. And the theme for this year is solidarity with refugees. Now, World Refugee Day 2025 is a powerful call to action and empathy in a time of global uncertainty. Now, with record numbers of people forcibly displaced and humanitarian aid under threat, this year's theme, solidarity with refugees, urges us to move beyond words and take meaningful steps to support those forced to flee. Refugees actually seek not charity but opportunity, a chance to rebuild their lives, contribute to their communities, and live with dignity. I'll leave it there this morning. Now let's quickly take a look at 10 things that you need to know this Friday morning. Well, two decomposed bodies of victims of a devastating flood that swept through Mokwa town, headquarters of Mokwa local government area of Niger State, on May 29 were recovered on Thursday. The Director General, Niger State Emergency Management Agency, Abdullahi Baba Ara, confirmed the recovery of the two bodies. May their souls rest in peace. Amen. Now, a Federal Capital Territory FCT High Court in Maitama has granted bail to the suspended senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, in the sum of 50 million naira. Delivering the ruling, Justice Chizoba Orji dismissed the federal government's request to have the lawmaker remanded in prison custody while her trial proceeds on a 3-count charge. Well, it appears there is no end in sight to the trial of suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Now, away from that one, bandits have killed at least 20 farmers, 3 other residents, and a community watch corps operative, popularly called Sea Watch, in Katsina State. The separate incidents took place in Kankara local government area, one of the frontline local government areas in the state. All right, hundreds of internally displaced persons, IDPs from Yelwata community in Guma local government area of Benue State on Thursday cried out over the poor feeding and living conditions. They actually staged a peaceful protest in Makodi over alleged food shortages at their temporary shelter. I mean, we actually took this story in the course of our major bulletin yesterday evening and even this morning, and we're made to understand that as at press time, the state government or state governor was yet to release an official statement, reacting to these claims by these internally displaced persons. But it actually speaks volumes to hear that their needs are not properly, taken care of. And away from that one now, the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, who is facing a 7-count terrorism and treasonable felony charge on Thursday, told the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja that he has no case to answer. Kanu took the position shortly after the federal government, which is prosecuting him, announced its decision to close its case. And now the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, on Thursday disclosed that troops received intelligence that more killer headers were on their way to some communities in Benue State in different locations. Now, they mobilized and deployed to the named communities, but on getting there, they discovered the intelligence was faulty, only to learn the attack, was elsewhere. Well, at this point in time, we can only pray, and hope, and also wish our security operatives, the relevant stakeholders that are concerned when it comes to combating insecurity, all the best. All right. And if you're privy to any information, please feel free to share. The Oba of Benin, His Royal Majesty Omo Noba Noedo Uku Akpolokpolo Eware II has taken custody of 119 repatriated Benin artifacts from the Netherlands, the largest return since the infamous 1897 British invasion of the Benin Kingdom. The monarch expressed gratitude to the government of the Netherlands and praised President Bola Tinubu for continuing the repatriation initiative started by former President Muhammadu Buhari. Moving on very quickly, members of the Major Energies Marketers Association of Nigeria say they will discuss with the Dangote Petroleum Refinery to fully understand the implementation of its plan to supply directly to filling stations nationwide. The Executive Secretary of MEMAN, that is the Major Energies Marketers Association of Nigeria, Clement Isong, stated this during a webinar organized by the association on Thursday. And the ninth thing that we'd like you to know this morning would be the fact that the Senate on Thursday disclosed that about 85% of the 1.48 trillion naira 2025 budget submitted by the sole administrator of Rivers State, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, retired, was originally drafted by suspended Governor Similalayi Fubara. Now, chairman of the Senate Ad Hoc Committee on Emergency Governance in Rivers State, Senator Okpeyemi Bamidele, revealed this during a budget defense session with Ibas and key state officials at the National Assembly. The last but not the least would be the fact that a 33-year-old bricklayer identified simply as Taiwo lost his life after a fence he was erecting around the church in the Alakbere area of Lagos State collapsed on him. It was learned that the incident occurred around 7 p.m. on Saturday while the bricklayer was working on the structure. Well, this is where some Nigerians, or most Nigerians, would say that may we not, die in the course of, looking for our daily bread. And I'm sure that your response would be amen. Well, may he so rest in peace. That being said, let's quickly take a look at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers this morning to see what these national dailies are reporting. I've got the Nation newspaper, I've got the Guardian, I've got the Daily Trust, I've got the Punch, the Vanguard, and of course, the Nigerian Tribune newspaper to look at this morning. All right, we're starting off with the Nation newspaper this morning. And of course, the big news story on the front page says, Tinubu, Kaduna rising again after overcoming insecurity. President inaugurates project. Kaduna will return Tinubu, says Abbas. Colonel Umar bags CFR. All of that on the front page. It continues right on page 2 of the Nation newspaper this morning. And just above that big news story, governors lift food distribution hurdles across states. That's on page 4. And Nigerians will enjoy good governance. You find details of that story also on page 4. Say the Nigerians will enjoy good governance. But who that statement is credited to is who we don't know and what we don't know. But you definitely would find details on page 4 of the Nation newspaper this morning. All right. And then green bond oversubscribed by 91.4 billion naira, 47.36 billion naira allotted. That's on Business News, and you'll find details on page 7 this morning. Defense headquarters steps up action against killers in Benue. Akume leads peace panel. Details on page 2. And then Natasha's trial for defamation against Akpabio Bello begins September 23rd. That's on page 3. Over 250,000 Nigerians are refugees in Libya, Cameroon, others. Details on page 4. And the rest is just some sort of promotion, for Governor Babagana Zulum. Marking 6th year in office, just highlighting all of his achievements, the projects that he's been able to execute, and still counting. And of course, the security, report coming in from that state. I'll leave it there this morning for the Nation newspaper. Grab a copy to get details. The Guardian newspaper is up next. And of course, the big story right there says, violent attacks, peacetime killings, question value of Nigerian life. Violent attacks, peacetime killings, question value of Nigerian life. That's the big story, and you'll find details on pages 4 and 5 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Ibas alleges sabotage at budget defense as Senate reiterates a democratic rule. Ibas alleges sabotage at budget defense as Senate reiterates democratic rule. You find details on page 29. Again, Tinubu inaugurates specialist hospital named after him in Kaduna. All right, it appears that a number of Nigerians who have their reservations about assets, public infrastructure being named after the president, it looks like you've got something else to chew on, right? But you find details on page 6. And then tension in Benue as herdsmen graze farmlands. Youth intercepts bus. Details on page 6. TCN accuses politicians, saboteurs of vandalizing electricity towers. You find details on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. 1,500 killed in over 100 tanker accidents, NEMA discloses. 1,500 killed in over 100 tanker accidents, NEMA discloses. You find details on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And 6,260 terrorists killed, 5,365 civilians rescued in 2 years, says Defense Headquarters. I should ring the bell to that, right? All right, you find details on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And of course, the last but not the least right here would be this one you'll find on page 3. It says experts reveal 50 million Nigerians with sickle cell warn against stigma. Experts reveal 50 million Nigerians with sickle cell, and they've also been warned against Nigerians generally have been warned against, stigmatizing people with the sickle cell. You find details on page 3. Now, before I leave the Guardian newspaper for the next National Daily, this particular story or this particular headline that is contained, or you'll find on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper, talking about TCN, that's the transmission company of Nigeria, accusing politicians and saboteurs of vandalizing electricity towers. Now, that actually speaks volumes to hear that our politicians could actually have a hand in this whole situation. But I'm sure that a number of Nigerians would want to share their or even express their reservations as far as that is concerned. But that is a very, very strong, allegation right there coming in from the transmission company of Nigeria at TCN to the politicians. Once again, you find details on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper, and I'll leave it there very quickly. Now, let's take a look at the Daily Trust newspaper. And of course, Tinubu still leading. Tinubu to choose running mate after convention. This is coming from the presidency. So he's going to choose another running mate. And on Vice President Kashim Shettima, well, the Northeasterners, maybe you just have to brace up with another drama in sight. All right, details on the front page. It continues on pages 3 and 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. And Benue is the kicker. Residents harbored killers, gave them food. Defense chief talking there. Benue is the kicker. Residents harbored killers and even gave them food. Is that supposed to be an expose or just some claims that we need to substantiate? That's on page 6, but it's coming from the defense chief, by the way. And then ground rent is the kicker. FCT is silent as 14-day grace period expires. That's on page 29 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Uba Sani turned Kaduna from toxic zone to hub of progress. This is coming from the President Bola Tinubu. All right, that's on page 6 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, and the rest still talking about or highlighting the achievement of Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State, marking 6th year in office. I'll leave it there for the Daily Trust newspaper. Well, the Punch newspaper is not reporting much. All right, the big news story, food inflation is the kicker. NSA, 36 states launch a joint action. All right, this has 3 riders underneath that headline. The first one says, federal government governors agree on free flow of goods across states to dismantle checkpoints, harmonize levies. And the second rider says, Ribadu heads interministerial panel. The last rider says, governors worry over World Bank funding delay. All of that on page 2 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Dangote blames crude shortage as import from U.S. surge. Dangote blames crude shortage as imports from U.S. surge. That's on page 19. And then Israel threatens Khamenei after Iranian missiles wound 240. That's on page 2 of the Punch newspaper this morning. And, okay, from what I'm seeing on the front page, it appears the president would be commissioning newly constructed Life Camp Road to Ring Road 3 today. And that is supposed to happen right here in Abuja. All right, I'll leave it there for the Punch newspaper. And the Vanguard is up next. The big news story right here, Benue massacre is the kicker. Troops got wrong intel on attackers' movement. This is coming from the CDS. Benue massacre. Troops got wrong intel on attackers' movement. CDS talking there. And right underneath it says survivors cry out over poor feeding, living conditions. You find details on pages 7 and 5 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Israel-Iran conflict is the kicker. Trump to make war decision in 2 weeks. That's on page 8. And Zenith Bank is the key card, navigating CBN's prudential measures with confidence. That's on page 42. I'll leave it there for the Vanguard newspaper. The last but not the least will be the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Tinubu admits missing some names on Democracy Day. Confers CFR on Dangiwa Umar. That's on page 3. Dangote blames shortage of domestic crude oil for reliance on imports from U.S. That's on page 7. Insecurity is the kicker. Southern Middle Belt leaders lambast federal government and National Assembly. 2 riders underneath that one. The first one says, condemn forest guard scheme. Say emergency rule in rivers illegal and unconstitutional. All right, that's on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. And that's just going to be about the size of the headlines I will be taking across Nigerian newspapers this morning. As always, we'd like to encourage you to grab a copy of any of these national dailies to take a closer look at the headlines. Search for the details. That way you get, sense of what these stories are really all about, as opposed to just getting carried away, by the headlines, which can most of the time be very catchy. All right. So grab a copy of any of these national dailies to get details. And don't forget that there are good, news features, editorials or columns, and you definitely would have a good read just taking a look at all of them across these national dailies. That being said, it's 26 minutes gone past the hour of 7 already, so I should quickly open the studio line. Let's start taking contributions from the listener on the other side of the radio. The numbers to call are 090-7353-0044 or 090-8766-8888. You can send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number on 090-9705-44 and 50. Please, when you call in to share your thoughts, keep your emotions in check, avoid the use of vulgar or obscene language, and please stick to the headlines making the rounds this morning. All right, do not forget to turn down the volume of your radio set so we can hear ourselves loudly and clearly. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Amoifi.
Good morning, good to have you. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Yes, this is Mr. Daramola. I'm calling from Kiwa.
All right, good to have you. Please go ahead.
Yes, I want to speak about the issue of Israel and Iran.
All right.
We are not praying for war, but if you look at the social media, what is happening now? People are really bustling about the Israel and so we have to just take caution if we can avoid that story, so that we need peace in our country.
Okay.
So that is my contribution. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you very much for your for that observation, by the way. But skipping stories might not really go down well with some other family members, because they think that we owe it to them to keep them, abreast or up to speed with the latest happenings, which of course cuts across board, not just here in Nigeria, but we'll also bring you updates from the international front. So, hello, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Chimezie calling from Asokoro.
Good to have you this Friday morning, Chimezie.
Yeah, it's very disheartening to hear that some people harbor the terrorists that attacked Benue State.
And even fed them.
And fed them, yes. I believe it's laughable for now, but the Benue people, if they discover them amongst them,
right,
they are traitors and saboteurs and should be treated as such. I'm not calling for extrajudicial measure, but it should be really meted out on them. I can't live with you and you go and invite armed robbers to attack me, kill me, members of my family, and destroy my properties. Okay? Right. I believe these people, in all honesty, that is my word, they don't deserve to live. Because almost if you see what really happened in that Yelewata, you will cry. You understand me?
Right.
They should do the needful. They should do the needful and not pity them, no matter whom they are. Okay. Then two is this about road security, food security in the country.
Right.
If the federal government should really implement this, it will be a big relief.
Okay.
Start from Kogi State, Benue Roads, Ugo Gonike in Enugu, Ogu Expressway, Anere, Amibo. So I know what I'm saying. Do you know that these people spend up to 300,000 naira on the road? The military checkpoints have been corrupted by the police. You have what they call the produce, you have the touts, they will tell you they're giving the money to state governors. That is how somebody made money to rule Nigeria. I am telling you the truth is disheartening. If you go to load even 2 bags of rice now to the east, normal freighting should be about 2,000 or 4,000 naira. They will ask you, okay, I beg money for road or we go settle. You end up paying 15 or 20,000 for a bag of rice. Then tell me how you will sell it. Because the federal government is not implementing, they should apply very mean and harsh measures.
All right.
At times we don't need to be. I'm telling you, at times you don't need to be petting these people. Apply very mean and harsh measures on them. Benue, Ugogo, Nike, Nsuka Road, Opi Road, Anuri, Ogu Road, Okigwe,
Right.
They are there much. Even to Abakaliki. They should do this and let people have food. There's no food in the country anymore.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Imeze. I mean, thanks for that breakdown also. So it appears that the bottlenecks are quite many, all right? Aside the middleman, aside, the issues of bad road network, now we have illegal checkpoints and unnecessary levies. So when you see these trucks transporting food items, from the north, down south, it becomes an issue at the end of the day, looking at how much you would have to pay to even purchase, let's say, a bulb of onions, rather, or even a bag of rice, or even tomato, or even pepper. So, but let's keep our fingers crossed, really, to see the outcome of this whole move by the 36 state governors, all right? Hello and good morning to you. Okay, that's a miss. Please do us a call back. 09073530044 or 09087668888 are the numbers to call. Why do I keep missing the calls though? What's going on? Okay. Good morning to you, Felix. Good morning, Felix.
Yes, good morning, Almighty.
Right, good to have you this morning.
Felix from Lambata.
Yep.
The issue in Benue and the revelations that are coming up is really disturbing and worrisome. And I think even the ministry too, talking about bad not letting them get through to the attackers. I think they should buckle up because all these excuses are not necessary compared to the massacre that took place in that place. Because it is time and we don't want the repetition of such thing again.
Right.
Not only in Benue, even elsewhere in Nigeria. It's a shame, it's a disgrace to our nation when it is spoken of in the international arena. Thank you and God bless you, man.
All right, thank you very much, Felix, for your contribution right there. We just go pay some bills. When we return, best believe the studio lines is to be open for you to call in to share your 2 cents. This is The Pages. We'll be back in a short bit. Do join us again.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Abuja, you're in luck. It's the upgrade promo from my Abuja Home Limited. For their Broadwater estate and plots in Gwagwalada, get 250 square meter for just 700k when you make an outright payment. That's a whopping 81% discount or go premium with 500 square meters for only 1 million naira. That's 80% of the original price of 5 million naira. With our authentic FCT land document, you have no issues at all. We have a flexible payment plan for up to 12 months for your convenience. Get your land in Broadwater estate Estate, Paiko, Gwagwalada now with green environment, accessible roads, power supply, guaranteed security, and lots more. Call or WhatsApp my Abuja home on 0808 883 7426 0808 883 7426 or 0808 272 3824 0808 272 3824. Hurry now, promo ends soon. These opportunities also open to military personnel. My Abuja Home Limited. Affordable. Live the life.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
I suppose it was inevitable. Eagles 102.3.
And we're back, still taking your calls. This is the pages. If you're just joining us, welcome on board. The numbers once again are 09087668888 or 09073530044. Send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number on 090970544 and 50. You can also join the conversation live on YouTube and Facebook at Eagles FM Abuja. All right, and I see this one here. Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mother.
Right, good morning to you. What's your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Honorable Edward from Nepal.
Honorable Edward, you must forgive me now. All right, good to have you. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Right.
So your night.
Very well, thank you. And yours?
Yeah, Mother, I want to talk about the Benue again. It was here. I don't know whether you were not here on that day. I reported that these people are heading to a particular local government in Benue State, which is called Ushongo. I can send back my voice message, and you know that they were intercepted yesterday. By the youth, they were arrested yesterday.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is that they have a particular plan to take over Benue State. They have a particular plan. Those people were arrested yesterday. And the DPO in that place, it's a full animal. So the guy is way to manipulate. I am begging federal government to look into the commissioner of police to look into the Benue State issue. Why is it that almost all DPOs are Fulani? That's giving up problem. Where are those people now? Up to now, there's no official statement about them. And because of information we got, we share it to everybody. Everybody was alert, and we are arrested with a lot of huge, guns. This has to be looked into. There's no way. Me, I can't fear anything again. Let me be arrested. But I have the fact.
Okay.
If only you can interpret, I will send you every information, whatever that happened in that place, I have it here. I'm in Abuja, but everything was sent to me. The issue is that it is in my luggage, so you may not understand.
Okay, so Honorable Edwards, it's actually good to hear that you usually get first-hand information, about the movement of these non-state actors. But we'd like to encourage you to share, whatever it is that you're privy to with the relevant stakeholders if you can. And also, you are claiming that all the DPOs in Benue State are all Fulanis?
I'm not saying all. I said almost all. I said almost all the DPOs you can say.
All right. Okay.
And that, I think, because when these people were arrested yesterday, what happened? They were arrested by the youth, not police, not army. What happened? Where are they? Immediately they took possession of these people. Where are they? We want to know. That's the issue. Enough is enough. We cannot not put to be killing us on a daily basis.
All right, Honorable Edward, thank you so much.
We got the information, first-class information, and the youth from that place mobilized. They were waiting. Imagine where they came from, out to that place. They were arrested yesterday.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Edward. Let's leave it here, but thank you so much for that revelation, all right?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Ajia Jimbia, aka our radio princess. My name is Simon Ampulani.
Good to have you. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much. Now, how's our evening?
He's fine, thank you.
Let me just go to the point. The issue like after convention, our president is going to maybe announce he's going to do his training next. I think we are not going to be surprised. But I think when the governor of Lagos said, I think he changed it almost 40 times. So that one will not be as, we cannot surprise to hear that. But I want to let them know that this is Nigeria, not Lagos. You can see what happened. So those who are advising change that is taking much, and I think they are making an incredible mistake. You understand, even Nigeria are most especially they are that so much change that is
Suleiman, I don't know. Your the network reception is a bit poor, and I really can't get sense of what you're saying.
I don't know if you can hear me now.
Okay.
Yes, I think they try that maybe it's going to be difficult for them, but I don't know. They have their own choice. You understand?
Okay.
And Nigerians, we have our own choice.
All right.
Then lastly, please, I want to appeal to our security agencies. We beg them in the name of Allah, let them work up for their own responsibility.
All right.
This issue is supposed to be and innocent by their intent.
Okay, Suleiman, thank you so much for calling. All right. I'm sure that at least I got sense of a thing or two that you tried to say. Thank you. And I also see your message on the Facebook page. I'll revert to that in a bit. But now let's continue with the calls. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you. Is this Elder?
Yeah, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
This is Ibrahim Musa from Niger State.
All right, Ibrahim
Niger
Musa.
State.
Right, good to have you. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Yes, what I'm trying to say is that if you don't know where your sickness is coming from, you don't know how to remedy it. So the problem that is affecting us all in terms of conflict and the rest of it is because of bad governance. All what we need in Nigeria is food. We don't need guns. It is food that we need. If every household is living fine, your children can listen to you because they are comfortable. Everybody will do his work well. When you are talking about security agent, how much are you paying the security agent? How much food will he eat even in a day to withstand the sun that he will start carrying guns? And you refuse to give yourself peace. As I am talking to you, I am a retired custom officer. I've been taking serious risks for this country in the high seas and the border. When you wake up and see 11 of your colleagues killed, amputated. 19 years now, they have not paid me my money. I have to sell farm to go back to the university so that I will continue to be useful to my people as I'm talking to you. Then what kind of country is this? So that is what is happening. The poor people are tired of Igobeta. Because animal children are the ones doing the politics. So what they didn't see before, now they are seeing it. Then pressing down the real people that have sympathy of mankind. Civilization, in the definition of the white man who owns the language, is when you are kind to fellow human beings. We sure that fellow human being is very comfortable with the comfort of God's mind. But the meaning of civilization in African context is when you are cheating somebody, you are doing Yahoo. So you can imagine. Then how can the two go together?
All right, Ibrahim, please wrap up your thoughts because of time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. Thank you. All right, hello, good morning to you.
Omo Efe, peace or
Welcome back, Mr. Bright. Good to have you this morning. Good morning.
He's not back. It's good that I will welcome back. I've been you have been off on now.
Well, I mean, it's good to hear from you today. How are you doing today?
I'm doing as I need to do.
Okay.
Please, this is right. Calling from my portal.
Right.
Please, you see, the problem of black man is great. We don't have human sympathy in our life. And we think that the ultimate aim of the creation of man is acquisition of filthy lucre, acquisition of wealth. Have you been that?
Are you there? Bright, are you there? Hello, Bright, are you there? Okay, please do to call back, all right? I wouldn't want to keep you on the line, especially when we can't hear anything from you. And, well, I think we can actually take one more voice call before we revert to the Facebook page and also the WhatsApp portal. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
King Kennedy, is that you? Lahi, hello. Lahi, hello.
Sanu Nagori, thank you very much. It's been a long time hearing your voice.
Oh, good to have you this morning.
You. I just want to say this. They say the Benue residents harbor killers and felt them. You know, my question is this: could it be after the killing that the military discovered that Benue people harbor these criminals, these killers, or was it after the killing? Because I heard in your program where somebody said there was an intelligent report about 3 days before the killing. So could it be that they heard this information and they felt reluctant that nothing will happen? Because you can't tell us now that we are mourning and then there are a lot of speculations that there was information given to the military that they were caught and then nothing happened, and now that people are angry, we are angry that a lot have happened, damages has already occurred first, and then you are coming to tell us that the residents harbor criminals to come and kill their own persons. So it means they are in the know of the whole thing. I think there is more to investigate, because you cannot tell us that you got an information of such and then you allow it happen, or except if it is because after it happened, or it is now that they are investigating to know. Other than that, I think there is a lot for us to know.
All right.
Because I still don't understand, because I remember the statement of the president. He asked the Inspector General of Police that after all this, you mean one person has not been arrested? Let me stop at this point, because I'm angry with that statement. If it is after the killing, then no problem. But if it is before the killing, I think there is a lot to investigate. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, King Kennedy, for your contribution this morning. So I'm just going to pause the voice calls. Now, on the Facebook page, I see Suleiman Jibril's message. It says, good morning, Hajia Gimbia. Well, I already dropped that title because Salah has come and gone and nobody even deemed it fit to say, oh, Hajia, Gashinwana, nothing. So I am no longer Hajia, please. I think I'll just stick with the Radio Princess. Thank you. He says, Fulanis are saying Wali Jam. Okay, all right. It says, please, where is Mr. Yudi? Yudi is fine. And it says, as usual, watching you live from National Assembly quarters. Please, I want to use this opportunity to appeal to our security agencies, rather. Please let them wake up, to their responsibility to tackle this ongoing killings of innocent people in the country. And I pray, may Almighty Allah give us a good leader who have Nigeria and Nigerians at heart. From Suleiman Dan Fulani, National Assembly quarters. Thank you so much for that message. And now to the WhatsApp portal number. I think I'll just start with the voice notes. All right. And I am obviously going to be starting with Bibi Blessing's voice note. But this your voice note, Bibi Blessing, is supposed to be 1 minute 30 or at most 35 seconds, but this is reading 2 minutes 10 seconds. So I'm just going to cut it, when the time is right. Good morning to you, by the way.
Good morning. Inside this morning. My name is Tekuda Dan. How are you doing? God bless you. Inside this morning. My name is Bibi Blessing. I send you this voice note from Otako here. And why I send you this voice note, why I be quiet since all these days. Although my lady got spoiled, thank God, someone bought me radio yesterday. and his name is Kennedy. God will bless you. You will help me pray for the person. God will bless his work. So what I want to say, why you say I quiet? The thing shocked me when I see Benue Kili. I sent you voice note last 2 weeks. I said, with the Rameti and no solution, our president see that there, and people with the representatives see that there. What I want to say, I said, with the talk now, our talk no get solution for them, no means for them. They are busy politicians, how they go take it 2027. The one way it will happen, it will more than the one way we see. And it no happen, then I continue. This one, they just go pay condolence for them. I already asked, why if you say where something happen for bad, where they go share blood, now they go take pay condolence. But where it never happen, where we dey voice our voice, look at people, elderly people, where they even senior president, where they even senior senator, where they there for the city, and they know they hear us. But where they don't hear say they key, yeah, there is a no blood to share, they go run, go there. Although I no blame them, I want to ask, where president, where all the senators?
All right, Baby Blessing, I just have to pause your voice note right there because we're working with time, but thank you so much. And to that Nigerian who actually bought your radio set, God bless him. All right. I see this one here from Dantani Ibrahim. Good morning to you.
Morning, Omoife.
Right.
Thank you very much. Well done. I greet Salasi, Bibi Blessing, Elda Onoja, and all other members of this radio station. My name is Yunus Dantani Ibrahim. Without time wasting, the president is commissioning road in Abuja today. Very important. I applaud the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for commissioning roads today. But I still want to remind the president, also the FCT minister, that for almost 3 months now, our children, poor man children, are still at home. Primary school teachers are on strike. And up to this moment, as I speak to you, there is not positive rationales made to allow primary school teachers go back to school so that our children or the children of the poor masses in FCT will be able to get the knowledge. Please, we are pleading with the president not to commission road alone that matters in FCT, but the school, the education, which is the foundation of every progress in every country, should be looked at. Thank you very much, Omaife.
All right, Yunusa. I mean, you've spoken comprehensive wisdom. This has been the argument on the lips of a number of residents in Abuja that beyond commissioning roads project, which is quite laudable, why can't you really see to it that the children are back to school or the teachers actually just suspend the strike? And this is all because of, unpaid allowances and entitlements and, the conversations around implementing the minimum wage and what have you. But somehow it's been more of, blame games, or the area council chairman are to be blamed for all of these. Well, it's a lot really to deal with. But thank you so much for that observation. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, great callers and listeners of Nigeria Info. Omoife Hajia, we greet you and we say blessings of the new week will go with us in the name of Jesus. My name is Triple D from Waru. Well, I don't have much to say, but to thank Nigerians, especially the callers and listeners, that we took our time to speak about the killing in Benue. You can see now that at least government get to know that Nigerians are gradually united and they are not happy. But we pray that the strength they are working to galvanize every occurring from the next future should also apply to the old state, is what I'm still singing. So that after Benue, we will not find ourselves singing the same music again on one particular issue. Well, Salasi, I greet you, Bibi Blessing, Elda Onoja. God bless all of us. And I say happy weekend. Nigeria will get it right. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Triple D from Waru. All right, for that voice note.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
And all our amazing callers and listeners on this platform. My name is Eric from Usetu. Thank you for the great job you and your team are doing on a daily basis. In one of your headlines, you made mention that the recently displaced people from Yelwa Town in Benue State complain of poor feeding, how they are being mishandled or treated in the camps where they are. Some of the relief materials probably did not get to them, and it shows you the kind of people we are. See, every time it's not really about the government, it's just the kind of people that we are as a nation. Let me tell you one thing, not shocking to that. Do you know that whatever relief material, cash donations that must have been given out to cushion the effect of whatsoever these people affected are going through, do you know there are some persons that will still want to profit from it? Some people want to make their fortune from this, from others' misery. It tells you the kind of people we are. Don't forget, during COVID-19, we saw what happened in all of those stores where palliatives were kept by our so-called leaders, by our so-called people that have been saddled with responsibility of reaching out to the less privileged. So ask yourself, I ask myself, how does a country like this progress or move forward? Yet we keep saying Nigeria will get better. Let's keep hopeful. But honestly, unless we change our values, we are going nowhere. Thank you.
All right, Eric, it's really very disturbing. Who are those hoarding these relief materials from getting to these internally displaced persons? Is it greed or I don't know? But Eric, thank you so much for that voice note. All right, good morning to you.
Senator Basanjo calling you all the way from Princess, good morning. Italuta Senator Basunjo calling you all the way from La Niger State. Where is Barrister? Thank God it's Friday. Good morning, Abuja. Good morning, Nigerian. We should not be panicked. We should wake up 2027 to tell all the leaders them. They not burn them. Why? Because what is happening in the country, the killing in Benue State. This is how it will continue. I am not praying for that continuity. But if you don't allow your people to get education, what do you think they will become? They will become Yahoo Yahoo. They will become headers. They will become killers. They will become armed robbers. In developed country, do you see all this? Where you people pack our money go? You don't allow the children to go to school. You allow them to be stained without vocational skills. Nothing. What do you think it will happen? It will turn disasters in the country. FCT's primary school up to date. This is how many months? What do you want them to become? They'll become touts in their communities. And you say, President, you benefited all these things from the federal government when you people are young. Federal government feed you in school, give you transportation, everything of yours. Federal government give you. But today, reverse is the case. You don't allow us to go to school. We don't allow us to go to farm. You don't allow us to have access of electricity. You don't allow us to have education. You don't allow us to see this light. We don't have. Thank you.
All right, Obasanjo, thank you so much for that voice note. Well, that being said, let's quickly take a look at the messages that we have on the WhatsApp portal. Samia from Kuje, good morning to you, sir. He says, good morning to you, my sister, Princess Adeze Omoefe. Congratulations and welcome to another new day. Happy Survival Day. Indeed, happy Survival Day, sir. He says, the administrator of Rivers State is behaving like elected executive governor, which is not good for his personality. After the visit of the president to Benue State, the displaced people went on the street to protest the lack of provisions, yet the governor kept mute. Well, as at press time, but he was able to prepare very well to welcome the president to the detriment of displaced people. What a governor. May God make it easy for us in this country in Jesus' name. And he says, have a great and safe day. Thank you so much. You too have a great day ahead. I see this one from Ongenemano Austin from Angwa Adamu, Nasarawa State. He says, Senator Natasha was arraigned yesterday for defaming Akpabio and Yahaya Bello. What happened to the sexual harassment case against Senator Akpabio by Natasha? But why are we like this in this country? When is this case coming up? Is it going to be swept under the carpet? Nigeria. Oh, my Nigeria. When are we going to do the right thing? Ogenemano, good questions right there. But I just hope that we get answers. All right. And James from Suleja says, good morning, Efe for short. He's literally the only one who calls me Efe for short on here. Welcome back, he says. Thank you so much. It is increasingly embarrassing, the statement put forth by security agencies and the government, saying the community harbored and fed their attackers, is just trying to, sensationalize the issue and blame the victim to shift focus from the aggressor. It is, a no-brainer. These attackers would have come into the community in some way to observe and interact while monitoring entries and exits, while the unsuspecting community treats them as any other visitor. They need to stop forcing the narrative of sabotage and herder-farmer clash. The updates Nigerians are interested in is what has happened to the killers and attackers. Yesterday, we saw videos and reports of Benue youth going after the attackers and catching up with some of them. The same happened in Plateau. How is it easy for the youth and vigilantes to get credible information, but the security agencies keep making excuses and distracting Nigerians? All right, truckload of questions coming from James right there also. And I see this one from Comrade Ulobasi from Buhari, Abuja. He says, good morning, Hajia Omoefe, he says, thank you. As it is still unfolding, any state of the Federation that wants President Tinubu to come for official visitation must be ready to name some important landmarks after him, or else no show. To that effect, Benue massacre site has to be renamed. Renamed? After who? It is inexplicable to say that, or to say the least, that while thousands of innocent Nigerian citizens are murdered weekly in cold blood amidst heightened insecurity coupled with unprecedented hardships in the land, some sycophants and buttlickers are heartlessly naming supposed national monuments after President Tinubu. Honestly, this is an eye service job taken too far and must be stopped before the country itself falls within the purview. May God Almighty save us from ourselves. Amen. Comrade Ulobasi from Buhari, thank you so much. And right now, I'm really, pacing. My heart is actually racing right now, but I'm trying to squeeze in all of your messages. Tereke Mehunda says, good morning, Efe, long time. Yeah, I'm in Nasarawa State. Oh, good to know. He says the news brief by CDS is something I can't understand completely. Is he saying the villagers compromised, or the villagers actually harbored the killers unknowingly? In most cases, the killers dressed in military uniforms. It may be difficult for the villagers to distinguish between real soldiers and these criminals wearing military uniforms. All we want is justice for the people, or for our people who lost their lives, and put, to an end insecurity in Benue State and Nigeria. Terekin Bihundu makes sense right there. And Choma from Airport Road, I believe, says, good morning, madam. Many people don't know the secret of FCT Road project. This is the area where he is making money. Ask any worker here. He or she will tell you that they are probably taken care of. All right, Choma, thank you so much for that revelation. All right, so I'm just going to leave it here now because of time, and Vicky Vic is somewhere around gearing up to bring you up to speed with the latest happenings in the world of sport. Thank you all so much for keeping us company on the pages this morning. Sport on Eagles Wings coming up right next, and I'll be back at exactly 9 a.m. this morning to look at, moves and even plans by the 36 states, governors to work closely with federal government to harmonize, levies and also eliminate illegal checkpoints in a bid to enhance the free flow of food or goods across state as part of efforts to address food security issues across the country. These and other, related issues we're going to be looking at the 9 o'clock hour. Thank you all so much. Once again, my name is Omoefe Peace Osemere, and I'd like to state that the views expressed were not influenced by the station. Good morning.